Are you a church leader feeling overwhelmed by financial compliance? Stay tuned for part 2 of our series on Navigating the IRS Maze, tips for church financial compliance. From maintaining accurate records to staying up to date with IRS filings, we've got you covered. Get ready to streamline your financial processes and gain peace of mind, girl. I'm so happy to have you join me today. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Church Finance and Minister Tax Podcast. My name is Michelle Brown, and I am honored to be your host. In this podcast, we will discuss topics to help you organize, maximize, and utilize your God-given talents and skills so you can do what you do best, which is take care of the business side of the church and do it with excellence. If you are a church secretary, bookkeeper, administrative assistant, or any other superpower title you've been given, then this podcast is for you. Church finances and minister taxes is what we do, so if that's your area of service, we are here for you and aim to make it easy peasy mac and cheesy. Or if you're from Canada, they say easy peasy pudding and pie. Regardless of where you're from, we are here to help take the confusion and uncertainty out of running the business side of the church and give you the confidence and clarity you've been looking for. So grab your notebook and pen, my friend, and your favorite beverage, and let's get ready to learn something cool today. Hello, and welcome to episode 63 of the Church Finance and Minister Tax Podcast. We all know why we're here, so let's dive right on in. First, here is today's episode quote, another great quote by Mr. Craig Groeschel in his fabulous latest book, Think Ahead. Craig says, if you want to become more consistent, define your why. Go deep, pray, look within, tap into your passion, start with why. All right, love it, love it, love it. Okay, you need to get that book. It's phenomenal. All right, now let's continue from the last episode with another critical aspect of compliance, which is maintaining accurate records and documentation. Document. It's one of my favorite sayings. You need to do documentation, okay? So from contribution statements to expense receipts, keeping thorough records is essential for both compliance and accountability. Additionally, staying up to date with IRS filings, such as your quarterly 941 payroll reports, along with any state or local payroll reporting, is crucial to maintaining your tax-exempt status. You also likely are required to file an annual report with your state. And if you have unrelated business income, you will need to file an annual Form 990T with the IRS. Maintaining accurate records and documentation is vital for ensuring compliance and accountability in managing church finances. So let's delve deeper into this critical aspect. Okay, number one, thorough record keeping. Accurate records and documentation serve as the backbone of financial management for churches. This includes maintaining detailed records of all your financial transactions, such as your contributions received from your members, your expenses incurred for ministry activities, your payroll records for your staff, and any other financial activities. All right. There is not a shortage of paperwork to be done in any office, and that includes church offices, all right? So use what you got to use to get the job done, whether that is an Excel spreadsheet, a Word document, a Google sheet, a Google spreadsheet. I've got one church that just keeps everything in a written notebook, from a written notebook to using a member management software, to a donation software, to your accounting and bookkeeping software. Whatever you got to use to get the job done, just use it. But just make it consistent and easy for others to understand. All right. Whatever system you put in place, make sure that the person that follows you, and yes, there will eventually be somebody that follows you, make it easy for them. Don't be this secretive system that's only in your brain, that only you know. Make it to where the next person can easily figure out what you're doing, why you're doing it, and they can either continue the format that you're using, or they can easily take the information that you have been keeping up with and put it into a system that makes sense to them. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is thorough record keeping. Next thing you want to do is contribution statements and expense receipts. So keeping thorough records of contributions is not only a legal requirement, but it's essential for fostering trust and transparency within the congregation. Providing contribution statements to donors not only acknowledges their generosity, but it also helps them with your tax documents, all right? As you know, if you've been with me the past year, I recommend doing a quarterly or at a minimum a biannual, which is twice a year, contribution statement. This serves three purposes. Number one, it catches any errors in record keeping, all right? So if you've incorrectly posted something, either the wrong dollar amount, it went to the wrong designated fund, or it went to the wrong member altogether, you're going to catch that easier, all right? It's easier to fix that on a quarterly basis than it is to wait for the end of the year and have to go through all of those transactions. Number two, it notifies the donors if any intended donations have been missed. I always love to share this story. When I was on staff at the church, I got a call from a very disgruntled church member one day. She was not a happy camper. And I had sent one of these quarterly statements, just like I'm recommending that you do, and she informed me that I did not record one of her contributions that she made. And I'm like, ma'am, I didn't receive it. She says, it was this check number, it was on this date, it was for this amount. And she had all of her ducks in a row of what it was. It just never made it to the church. Well, lo and behold, someone came over, I believe it was her daughter or something, and they were cleaning, and they found the check that she swears up and down she turned in. It had fallen down in between the cushions on the couch. And so she called and apologized, bless her heart, and we were able to then turn that in and get that credited. But you never know. That's why when I say intended donations, that's what I'm talking about. They had every intention. They believed that they got it in, but for whatever reason, life just happens. So that's number two. And then number three, doing these quarterly contribution statements helps the donors to buy in to the ministries that their contributions are helping to support. Okay, so if you're doing a contribution statement and you say, you know what, thank you for your generous giving. This quarter we were able to, help 56 kids in VBS, and 3 of them made professions of faith. Okay, that's really cool for them to know that they are a part of that. So the IRS does have specific requirements for contribution tracking, and you should include the following in your contribution statements. You need, number one, the name of the individual giving. Number two, the check number if they wrote by check. Number three, the date of the contribution. Number four, the amount of the contribution. And then this little blurb that the IRS requires. It needs a statement that says, goods or services, if any, that the organization provided in return for the contribution consisted entirely of intangible religious benefits, if that was the case. All right. I seriously do not expect you to remember this, so I will copy and paste this in the show notes. But this is directly from the IRS publication. Okay, so this is the blurb. And you can do any form of this blurb, like if you're using, like I use QuickBooks Desktop for my clients, and I shorten that in there to get it to fit in the footer. Okay, so similarly, documenting all expenses with receipts ensures transparency and accountability in how church funds are utilized. All credit card receipts should be turned in on a monthly basis and reconciled with the credit card statements. Any request for reimbursements absolutely should include a receipt. No receipt, no reimbursement given. And if the credit card receipts are not turned in, the amount of the charge is to be added into the staff member's income or taken out of the employee's paycheck. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Put it in your credit card policy and have all employees sign it upon hiring and or being issued a church credit card for use. This practice allows church leaders to track expenditures, verify budget allocations, and demonstrate financial responsibility to the church members. I promise you, if you do this a couple times, your staff members will learn that they need to be responsible and to turn in those credit card receipts. And they don't even have to keep up with the actual physical credit card receipt. There are so many apps out there. They can just take pictures of it and upload it and send it to you, okay? And then if they want to toss those puppies away, that's fine. But we've got to understand that we are held to a higher standard of accountability as those who represent Christ, that we are not dealing with our own money. However you choose to do your personal finances, that is up to you, but this is God's money. This is the church's money, and we need to have that transparency, okay, and that fiscal responsibility. All right, number 3, staying up to date with IRS filings. So maintaining your tax-exempt status requires churches to stay current with IRS filings. That includes your quarterly Form 941 payroll reports and state and local payroll reporting. Timely and accurate submission of these reports ensures compliance with tax laws and regulations governing employment taxes. All right. If you have employees, if you are paying staff members, you likely, well, let's not say likely, if you're paying employees and withholding any type of taxes on them, you are required to file Form 941 payroll reports. You may be able to do, depending on the amount of withholding, do an annual 945, but at minimum you would have to do quarterly 941 reports. All right. And even if you're in an interim period and you don't have someone currently on payroll, but you have been paying payroll reports, filing reports, just because you're going 2, 3, 4 quarters without anybody on payroll, you still have to file those reports. You just file a $0 941 report, okay? All right, so additionally, churches are typically required to file an annual report with their state regulatory agency, providing information about their activities and financial status. All right, here I'm in Kentucky, and in Kentucky, we do have to file an annual report with the state every June. It's a whole big whopping fee of $15. But if we don't pay that $15 fee within a certain amount of time, they will give you a notice saying that your organization is no longer in existence. Okay, and you have to reapply, you have to refile. So check with your state. Ours goes to the Secretary of State, so check with those. And failure to file these reports could result in penalties or jeopardize the church's legal standing, and we don't want that to happen, all right? And then churches engaging in unrelated business activities such as debt-financed rental income and other things, filing an annual Form 990T is necessary to report and pay taxes on unrelated business income. This is a whole other series for the future. I always say, when in doubt, ask. All right, before you go make a purchasing decision or get involved in some type of revenue generating plan, check with your tax professional to see if it's something that can be tax-free income to the church or if it constitutes unrelated business income. All right. It's crucial for churches to understand their tax obligations and fulfill them promptly to maintain compliance. And then number 4, be proactive. All right. Staying proactive and organized is key to avoiding headaches and potential compliance issues down the road. Establishing systems for record keeping, implementing those regular financial reviews, and staying informed about regulatory changes can help your church stay ahead of potential challenges. By investing time and resources into maintaining accurate records, staying current with your IRS filings, and adopting proactive organizational practices, churches can ensure compliance, promote transparency within the membership, and fulfill their mission with integrity and accountability. To put it simply, staying proactive and organized can save you a whole lot of headaches down the road, okay? We seriously don't need any more headaches than we've already got, okay? So let's summarize. Maintaining accurate records and documentation is foundational to ensuring compliance and accountability in managing church finances. From thorough record keeping of contributions and expenses to staying up to date with IRS filings and state regulations, You must adhere to legal requirements and fulfill your tax obligations promptly by staying proactive and organized. Organize people, okay? Church leaders can navigate the complexities of financial management with confidence, promoting transparency, helping you to sleep better at night, and fulfilling your mission with integrity and accountability. And that's a wrap, people. Thanks for sharing your time with me today, and let's all strive to make an impact and not just an income. And remember to always look your best, do your best, and be your best. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks again for listening today. If you haven't joined our free Facebook community yet, check it out at facebook.com/groups/church bookkeeping and clergy tax. And please know that no matter what is going on in your part of the world, God's got you, girl. Be blessed, my friend.